Hi, I'm Sarah from Moms LA, and I'm here with Mike Bonin, who's candidate for City Council District 11. And Mike, welcome. I wanted to find out, why do you want to run? And tell me about District 11. What are your big issues?
Well, it's an amazing district, and I'm glad to be running. I've been working for Bill Rosendahl for the past 8 years, and as most folks know, Bill got hit by cancer and decided not to run. And I'm stepping up for two reasons. One is Bill and I have done a lot of great work together, and there's a lot of unfinished business to be doing. But part of that is about putting neighborhoods first. We have in this district some of the most amazing and vibrant and spectacular neighborhoods in Los Angeles, and I want to champion them and give them a voice and make sure that we're making our neighborhoods as livable as possible, fighting for public safety and public works and traffic relief and better parks and more bicycle lanes, and just celebrating our neighborhoods and making sure that they're the first priority at City Hall.
Fantastic. So I kind of led into it, but what do you think are the biggest issues for our district?
Well, this district is very diverse. It's everything on the west side in between Mulholland and the airport. And you have communities from Brentwood to Mar Vista to Westchester, and they each have their own unique issues and personalities and needs, but there are certain issues that are unifying throughout. One of them particularly is traffic on this part of town. No matter where you go, traffic is a huge issue. And part of what we're trying to do is, one, build mass transit. We're going to get the Expo line built from Culver City to Santa Monica by 2015. Then task two is getting the Green Line into the airport, but also we have 3 bus lines on the west side. Metro and Big Blue and Culver City bus. We need to integrate those so that they actually feed into the Expo line, so that it's a usable alternative, so that the Big Blue and the Culver City bus are not all running on the same street, but every major street is covered. But we also need to build out bicycle lanes. Bill got approved a 1,700-mile plan for bicycle lanes in Los Angeles. And my job, if I get elected, is to build those out so that we have a bicycle-friendly city as well, and that intersects with mass transit. We also we've synchronized a lot of our traffic lights. We need to do more of them, and God knows we need more left turn pockets on some of our major intersections. Public safety is a huge priority in the city. We've done a good job keeping our police department whole, but we've made some cuts in our fire department, and we need to restore the fire department to full service. Do some strategic planning at the police department to get cops off the desk and out into the streets more, patrolling our neighborhoods. And we need to do a much better job at emergency management in this city. We're a city that is at risk for earthquakes, and we have LAX, which is a huge terrorist target right here in our district. And we need to do a much better job of making sure we have emergency preparedness. And then the final thing is public works. We've got to get better at improving our parks and greening them, more pocket parks, and getting around to finally fixing our sidewalks.
So I, like many people, read about some plan to spend $3 billion, a lot of money to survey the sidewalks, and I think a lot of us have enough, phone power. We could take pictures and send them to you. Can we save that money?
You are exactly right. Thank you for asking this question. I read that story in the LA Times one morning last summer, and it said we were going to spend, I think, $10 million on inventorying our sidewalks. And I flipped. I think you could have heard me a block away. I immediately sent an email to Bill and to another council member. And that morning, even though Bill was out sick, we put in a motion in Bill's name saying, let's cut this out. Let's use volunteers and technology, 2 amazing resources we have. You can get Boy Scouts and folks with Clean and Green and neighborhood council folks out with smartphone apps, and you can take pictures of every sidewalk, categorize how bad they are, and save the $10 million. In this district, Bill and our team with all the community volunteers counted every billboard in this district on a Saturday afternoon. We can do the same with sidewalks easily. We need to make our government smarter, and that's technology and it's community involvement.
Fantastic. So, there are a lot of fun things to do in this district. Name a favorite activity or a favorite restaurant, or, I don't know, you may not want to play favorites, but, tell me something you love to do here, and how long have you lived here?
I have lived in the district since 1992. I lived in Venice for a very long time, and a few years ago I bought a house in Mar Vista, right on Wall Grove. actually the Venice-Mar Vista border. And I love living in this district. It's one of the most beautiful spots in the city. We're just, you know, a short hop from the beach. One of my favorite things is the beach bike path, going all the way up to Palisades or all the way down to Torrance. The Venice art walls are a favorite spot for me to see young people expressing themselves. But one of my favorite things to do is the Mar Vista Farmers Market. I eat very healthy. I eat a lot of organic, and I eat a lot of raw food because I have a bit of a weird diet. And so I go to the Mar Vista Farmers Market. I try to go every week. And the Mar Vista Community Council is there, and it's a great community gathering spot. But you asked about my favorite restaurant.
Okay.
I won't say my favorite restaurant, but I will put a plug in for my favorite vendor at the Mar Vista Farmers Market, Sergio from Oaxacan Raw.
Oh.
He has a booth right near the Mar Vista Community Council, and he prepares and serves raw, vegan Oaxacan food. And that is an incredible, to me, that's a great LA story. There was a small guy, a guy who came to this country, a small businessman, who has found a sort of a niche market. He's taken the cuisine that is native to his homeland, and he's found that on the west side there's a lot of people like me who eat weird, and he's managed to create a fusion for that and create a market for himself. And I really love that because that's LA. It's entrepreneurial, it's creative, it's diverse.
And it's multicultural.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. Is there anything, you know, you'd like to express as a candidate that we haven't asked you, or, you know?
Yeah, there's a little story I tend to tell. I grew up in Massachusetts when Tip O'Neill was the legendary political figure. And there's two Tip O'Neill things I like to talk about. One is Tip always said all politics is local. And I think local government is the most important form of government we have. I've been working for the city for 15 of the past 17 years. I left to go to the federal government for 2, but I came back because this is where it's at. It's the local park, it's getting cops on the beat, it's improving the local traffic, it's the stuff that matters. But the other Tip O'Neill story is Tip lost his first election for office, and he lost it narrowly. And he found out that the little old lady next door to him, whose sidewalk he had shoveled, did not vote for him. And he asked her why. And she said, well, Tommy dear, you didn't ask for my vote. So I have learned that I've taken that lesson to heart. I'm going door to door asking people for their vote. And anybody watching this, I would like to take an opportunity to ask for your vote, to let you know I'd be very humbled to be your servant, and I will bust my butt every day to be a great city council member.